This is a WIAT 42 breaking news report.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michael Oda. We're going to get you back to the Insider on WIAT 42 in just a moment, but we are waiting on the state EMA director, Art Faulkner, to talk this afternoon about damage from yesterday's tornado in Pickens County. We're going to go to a press conference there just outside of the SAPS Community Center. We see a bunch of officials there getting ready to start this press conference. They, again, are outside the SAPS Community Center in Aliceville. And we're waiting to hear from State Emergency Management Agency Director Art Faulkner, as well as other local leaders there in response to that tornado that moved through there yesterday afternoon and evening. The National Weather Service saying that that was an EF2 tornado. Let's go ahead and listen in as they begin this press conference there in Aliceville.
Can you hear? Everything's okay? All right. What I'm going to do is just going to introduce everybody that's involved with it, and then we'll go from there, okay? You tell me when you're ready. So instead of questions, I'll just let them do some stuff, and if you got questions afterwards, we'll go through it.
And make sure everybody gives their name when they come up.
Okay. All right.
And who they work for.
Okay. You tell me when you're ready.
I'm good.
Again, if you're just joining us looking for the Insider, we are in breaking news coverage here of a press conference from state and local leaders there and emergency officials after they've had a chance to survey some of the storm damage there in Aliceville. This is just outside the SAPS Community Center, if you're familiar with that part of Pickens County. And we're going to go ahead and they're going to do some introductions here at the beginning of this, find out who will be speaking to the media here on Update in the response to just exactly how local leaders there on the ground are handling the damage cleanup today. We know that the National Weather Service rated that tornado that moved through there an EF2. And let's go ahead and listen.
My name is Ken Gibson with Pickens County EMA. And just like to, first of all, thank the community for what they've done so far, especially those who've come to volunteer and to work. And we certainly appreciate that. And right now, I would like to introduce our chairman of our county.
I'd like to say good afternoon to everyone. My name is Commissioner Frederick Kennedy. I'm the County Commissioner for District 2, and part of the area that was impacted was my district. And we'd like to thank all those that played a part on last night and today for us trying to get back to the norm. We know we got a long recovery, but what we're doing, we have contacted our local, our state, and we appreciate them for being a part of this meeting today to help support us during this time. We have assisted a lot of the families for as trying to provide a short-term place to stay. Currently, we have set up a unit at the Aliceville City Hall where we're being able to have cots set up for them for us being able to stay if need be, or food provided as well. But what we'd like to do, like thank all our local, state, our law enforcement for the part that they've played, and we appreciate the support that all have given to Pickens County. Again, just like to say thank you all for the work that you're doing.
Right now, I'd like to bring up to you the sheriff who is over our law enforcement and security within the area. So I'd like for him to come and to speak to you at this time. Sheriff.
Hello, I'm David Abston, Pickens County Sheriff, and I'd just like to say thank you to all area law enforcement firefighters who came out last night to help us. All those that came out with chainsaws, local volunteer fire departments, neighbors helping neighbors, and we appreciate the job they've been doing to help open the roads. We're going to be out here trying to assess the situation and see what the needs are and what damage. We are blessed, though, that no one was killed during this. We thank the good Lord for that He protected us during that. We ask for your patience We're trying to get the people in that need to come in and help clean up and to limit the sightseeing so we don't have a traffic congestion. Appreciate your cooperation. Appreciate each and every person who helped us during this time. Thank you.
Okay, next we have our road crew engineer, county engineer, Sky Holland will come and discuss some of the situations with you there.
Thank you. I'm Sky Holman, the Pickens County engineer. I would like to thank a lot of our locals and our local fire department's help. I'd like to also thank Sheriff Abston and his sheriff's deputies for their support last night and helping keep individuals off of our crews while we're trying to open the roads so emergency personnel could get in. We just ask that right now we have our crews trying to clear and open up those roads and get them back passable, get the debris cleaned up on our right-of-ways. We do ask that if you're not from the area and to please stay out of the area to limit the danger to those crews that are working in the area. But I'd just like to thank all the support we've had, like I say, from the local people in helping doing that. Thank you so much.
We have our superintendent of education here also. Would like to talk to you about National Weather Service giving us information that we closed early and so forth. So I'm going to let him come up and discuss that with you.
My name is Jamie Chapman. I'm superintendent of Pickens County Schools, and first of all, I'd like just to echo what everybody's already said. But my personal relationship with our county EMA has been phenomenal over these past 3 years, and kudos to Mr. Ken Gibson. When we listened to the thing on Monday afternoon, the WebEx, he looked at me and said, "You know, we've dodged some bullets in Pickens County here lately, but this looks like it could be setting up for a perfect storm with all the information we was getting." So I made a call to dismiss school early yesterday, just the one that was from 3 to 7 when they were predicting this weather to come in. And our hope was to have all our children and employees back home and the buses off the road. And thank God above that all our kids were delivered home and all our employees got home. And again, it takes everybody that's here today, law enforcement, our county commissioners, our workers, volunteers, do a phenomenal job in Pickens County. You know, we unfortunately had a fatal bus accident back in April when our volunteers stepped up. This county comes together and in times of need, and they'll answer the bell this time. We have some displaced employees that lost everything in this community. We have some students that are displaced, and we'll work with our students and our employees. We have some homeless funds through education. We'll be getting in contact with them and working, but we're out here, you know, just trying to help in all we can, and we appreciate you being interested in Pickens County, but the good Lord smiled on us yesterday. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to bring up the Director of the National Weather Service, Jim Stefanich, to come and discuss the tornado and the effects of that. Jim?
Well, as the superintendent said, it's a working relationship. It's an integrated warning team relationship, and that includes the media, helping the National Weather Service get the word out, and then working with folks like Ken Gibson, the county EMA director, and the state emergency management agency in Clanton. And so we had this pegged about 5 days in advance, said that the possibility in West Alabama was going to occur. The tornado watch was issued approximately an hour and 50 minutes prior to the storm hitting Pickens County, and a warning was issued with about a 20 to 30 minute lead time for the county. And what really worked was that the folks that we've talked to here in the community got the warning, they took the proper actions, they got to an interior room in a lowest level, and they got to a storm shelter with plenty of time. And that's what we want to get across to everyone. This is the start of our spring severe weather season here in Alabama, and we're going to see more storms, and unfortunately, more storms like this. So our hearts, of course, go out to those that were affected from yesterday, but be prepared. We have Severe Weather Awareness Week coming up next week. That's a time to get prepared and know what to do before the storm strikes, not during a warning. Thank you.
I would also like to thank our state EMA director coming and being with us and reviewing the damage and so forth. So I would like to call him up now and to talk with him.
Thank you, Ken. My name is Art Faulkner. I'm the director of the Alabama Emergency Management Agency. want to say that this morning as we came into Pickens County and we saw this damage, that I'm very thankful today that we are looking at things that can be replaced, items that while they mean a lot to the people in this community, they're material things and they can be replaced. And we're not dealing with tragedy and loss of life, and so we're thankful for that. I was with Governor Bentley yesterday afternoon as the tornadoes came through Pickens County. We've been monitoring this for several days, as Jim said. The Weather Service had been briefing us. We've been briefing our local officials. The Superintendent of Education is right. They took action. You know, Mr. Superintendent, there's a lot of times you probably get criticized for the actions that you take, but you know, it only takes one time to not make the right decision when you see people end up having loss of life. And so I will tell you that your local elected officials here in this county are to be commended, not only for the response yesterday afternoon, but for the preparedness that they do day in and day out. Governor Bentley said last night that Alabamians, in the face of challenge, always make their way for opportunity. And so what we see today, while we've got citizens that are hurting, we have to find an opportunity to be able to help them in whatever way that we can. It'll take us a few days to do the assessments to determine exactly what the extent of damage is. The power company is working very hard, as you can see, to try to get power back into this community. We've got volunteer organizations that have been assisting the county. Last night, the shelter that was open, we've got some volunteer organizations active in disasters that are conducting feeding, and they will continue working with the local EMA in the county to make sure that they're providing assistance and meeting the immediate needs of the citizens of this county. There's one thing that I want to point out to you, that as I talked to Governor Bentley this morning, and he asked me to come up here and to assess the situation, is that we know that there were a number of the citizens in this community that sheltered in community shelters that were made possible through grant funding that's been managed by the Pickens County EMA since the 2011 storms. And we saw those people last night that were in those shelters that I'm absolutely convinced, had they have not been there, that we would have had loss of life in this community. But you know, we can build those infrastructure, we can put them in place, but unless the people do what we've asked them to do, and that is to be prepared, to have a plan, to know what they're going to do, then even the lead time that the National Weather Service gave on this particular storm system that was moving through that produced this tornado, unless the citizens take action, then even you in the media can put that information out there, but that cannot force them to do that. So I would say that here in Pickens County that you've got a prime example of what needs to be done, to where everything that can be done, that we can't control, is done, and we see what those results are. So we will continue working with the county. Spoke with Congresswoman Sewell this morning, briefed her on the damage here, told her I was coming up here. We have people with her office that's here, and so they'll be working with us to try to make sure that we can get especially voluntary assistance in here to help our citizens and continue to move forward. Thank you.
And that was Art Faulkner, the State Emergency Management Agency Director, speaking there outside the SAPS Community Center in the community of Aliceville. He said that Pickens County is a prime example of everything that you need to do to be safe when severe weather like this strikes. Given the lead time from the National Weather Service of about 20 minutes before that storm moved through that community, they did everything that they needed to make sure that everybody was safe, including getting to numerous shelters around the area that were funded by grants from the state since the 2011 tornadoes. Now, if you want to go back and watch any of this press conference or hear some of the questions that are going on now, we are streaming it over at WIAT.com. That's where you can head to see some of the questions that they might be answering. answering from the media out there. You'll also find our complete team coverage on the severe weather from West Alabama over at WIAT.com. We'll be back this evening at 5 and 6 with more, or again, anytime at WIAT.com.